Real talk, raw truth, raging hearts. Welcome to From the Minds of Raging Brats. Like, share, and subscribe. Hi, welcome to From the Minds of Raging Brats. I'm Heather.
And I'm Ashley.
So how's your week?
It's as good as it can be. I feel like there's not like a real high point or a real low point. It's just getting by. How was your week?
Honestly, I don't even know why I did skincare today. The whole 20 minutes of sunshine I got and the water just pouring down my face as it's just pouring down rain on me. I'm utterly pointless. And also pretty much kind of sums up where I'm at mentally right now.
Pouring down rain?
Just a disaster, like a pointless disaster. I'm overwhelmed and I am in this analysis paralysis almost where I just can't move forward. I have so much to do and I'm so busy, but I'm busy, but busy instead of in the productive way, busy in the mentally drowning way.
I definitely understand that one.
So we'll see where this episode goes because I didn't really want to do a life update because we missed last week because schedules and chaos, and then that threw my week into a weird loop too. And with everything that I'm just I don't know if a life update is necessarily what we need, but maybe other people can relate to just having your plate so full of stuff you have to get done that you just can't do shit.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm also in this weird place because I'm trying to figure out what kind of dynamic my friend that is out of prison and I are going to have now, because it's a very different reality after you've done some long time that changes your personality, that changes your perspectives, changes your triggers. And, I just don't know where that's going to go. And I'm always concerned with relationships from the past coming back because I'm not the same person. And if they're expecting the same person, they're going to be really disappointed and upset because the person I am today, I mean, all of the components of who I used to be are still here. That's not it. It's just that things that I used to jump to that I would be like, oh, cool, down for that. I'm the person that's really fucktards these days. So
yeah,
I'm and especially if people my age, I don't have very many relationships with people my age that don't have their shit together, because it's if you're my age, and even if your life isn't perfect, I'm not saying they have to have everything perfect. I'm saying you have to have goals and you have to be working towards them, because if you're not, if you still are how am I going to hook up with the next crew? I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that either of us are there. I'm just saying that those are some of my fears. With relationships from the past, that oftentimes that's what comes of it. And I am not that person anymore. I'm not the one you want to call to be your right-hand man on the next job.
Yeah. That chapter is closed.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, or they think that because I don't get down with that, that all of a sudden that suddenly makes me weak as a person. And I'm like, let's not get it twisted. That bitch that would fucking smoke your ass before is still here. And don't push her to come out because the dragon is asleep, not dead, bitch.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to even. That's the thing is, I don't even want to be friends with people that put me in that mentality. If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Why would you stress yourself out and put yourself back? Take steps backwards instead of doing what you need to evolve.
It's the same reason I've gone low or no contact with almost everybody in my family at this point, because it's not that I don't love them. I love all of them. But a lot of them bring out traits in me and patterns in me that I'm not okay with. And if the only thing you do is trigger me to those old patterns, then this is not a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And love ain't enough, homies. I'm not the one. I'm not the one that's going to be like, love is all we need. Nope. I've proven that theory wrong more than a few times.
Yeah.
And I've had to be like really evaluating what I want in life, because like that friend coming back from the past, we were talking about like relationship stuff, because he has somebody that stood by him during that whole time, and that's fucking amazing. Like I don't take that for granted, because that's rare.
Yeah.
But he was like, we've had our ups and downs and we just work through it, and that's why they're my person. And I'm all for working through things, but there's some things that I'm not for working through. Like cheating, I don't give a shit. We're done.
Yeah.
Period. And he was like, and I understand, like, he doesn't understand that from my perspective, because like I'm sure that they have their own situation with him being locked up and everything, and that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
But for me, I would rather be like, listen, I can be your friend while you're locked up, but I can't be your person, because I'm gonna live my life. Now, when you get back, if things work out and we're available, then like let's explore that. But like, I'm not the person that's ever gonna wait for somebody as their old lady, because I wouldn't have ever expected somebody to wait for me.
Yeah.
And because I'm a grown-ass adult that understands that that's not how relationships work for most of us. Most of us that want a real healthy relationship, we can distance, we can survive. But like the day-to-day not being able to share the wins and losses, like if you have a husband that travels for work and, you know, say he's the CEO and he needs to go to Europe for the next year or 2 years because they're opening a new division, whatever. I can understand that, but I can also call if there's an emergency. I can get a hold of him if like something amazing happens, like all the things. I can always fly to Europe, or he can fly home to see each other, those kind of things. It's different when it's somebody that's incarcerated.
Yeah. You can't call them whenever you want. You have to be very careful about what you say. Like, when you do see them, you can't even really hug them depending on where they're incarcerated. Like,
yeah. I can't send you a dirty snap in the middle of your business meeting just to turn you red.
Yeah.
That's irritating to me.
And understandable. Like, there's not honestly a lot of people that can make that work.
Yeah. But for me, like if in that situation you tell me you are with me and then I find out you cheat on me, first of all, I'm in prison. Don't pull out the psycho when I'm in prison, because I'll catch a new charge. Also, don't pull out the psycho while I'm in prison, because when I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna catch a new charge. I'm not healed enough yet, and I'm coming out freshly incarcerated with all the bad fucking thoughts in my head. Let's not do that.
Yeah. Yeah, Well, I'm not going to say it on camera, but working through the mentality of the recently released incarcerated has been something on my mind a lot lately, and I'm like, the stress that puts somebody under, especially if they're not like being released to just, you're free, like, no, you're in a home with a lot of rules and a lot of consequences for if you don't follow those rules, but it almost feels like freedom. Because you get your clothes, depending on where you're at, you get to come and go, depending, you might have a job, but you're never actually free. Like, the mentality and the stressors that has to put somebody under, yeah, that's been on my mind a lot lately. I'm like, what that has to do to somebody.
Did I remember when I was in transition housing or halfway housing, whatever you want to call it, and oh my God, like, oh, especially for me that I was in the transition center as my halfway house. So, like, I'm in there with people that are also incarcerated and only get to leave for work crew.
Yeah.
And I get a tray every night from the jail like they do, but I also have a kitchenette where I get to buy food and cook food for myself, and I can come and go with passes, but like I can't just come and go freely, and I have my own money, but I can't use it freely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was so difficult.
Yeah.
And having to still be in that bunk mentality and stuff like in prison, so you feel like you're half in and you're half out, but
yeah.
It's a whole different mental mind fuck, and it's like, so this came up last night because my daughter-in-law was telling me about a false positive that on a UA recently, that she had to take over, and she just couldn't figure out how she could have. And I was like, lots of things in the world can cause false positives. I'm like when I got out of prison, like on my instruction sheet was I could not eat any poppy seed muffins or anything because they cause false positives, and that would send me immediately back to prison. No ifs, ands, or buts. And she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that, because yeah, there's lots of things. And I'm like, yeah, it's, the world is intense when you are being regulated.
Yes.
And also, the world doesn't look the same once you've been institutionalized, ever. No matter how much healing work you do, no matter how long you've been post wall, like,
yeah,
it does something permanently. It alters some neural pathways.
Well, we are not meant to be locked up. We are not meant to be in seclusion. We are not meant to feel every day like it is fight or flight. Like, that permanently alters some of the ways your brain connects. Like, there's no way around it.
Well, that's another thing. The isolation. I was recently talking to my therapist that I've been doing a lot of like really deep diving into my isolation, because I self-isolate, and I'm like, but really I've been thinking about it a lot since I worked past the loneliness issue. Like, I'm not upset or depressed when I'm alone. When I'm alone, that's when I'm most at peace. I'm like, yes, there are times when I do need to be around people, and I seek that out, but for the most part, I am the most at peace by myself.
Yep. I am the same way, and a lot of people are like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, when you get to a point of, at least for me, when I got to the point of I didn't fucking hate myself anymore, I was like, I'm great company. I don't argue with me. I don't usually piss me off. I put everything back in the right place. Like, I choose to.
And I have great discussions with me.
I do. I think I'm good. I like it here.
Yeah, well, and I was telling my therapist that, and she goes, that is not self-isolation. There's a difference between somebody that thrives in solitude and somebody that self-isolates as a self-destructive behavior. They look the same, but unless you ask what the emotional front presents as, you don't know which one it is. She's like, what you're doing is not self-isolating. She's like, it's just that your brain is in a place where you don't need company to be happy. You don't need a partner to get rid of loneliness. Like, you are not lonely as a person. And I'm like, no, I have moments of loneliness, but I am not, as a person, as my life, I am not lonely and I'm not unhappy, which is very strange to say.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's nice when you finally reach that point.
It is. I also realized, like, once I got to a point where I, like, truly have gotten to this point with EMDR where I don't feel like the internal self-hate mantra, that even once I stopped hating myself was still kind of quietly still going, but the EMDR got rid of that. And the thing that I noticed the most is, like, most of the time I actually feel conceited when I'm out in public, because I'm like, damn, that person's checking me out. That person's checking me out. What? Why are they smiling at me? And then I'm like, Heather, the world is not checking you out. And then I will get home and, like, my kid will be like, hey, did you notice this person, that person? I was glaring at this person.
That's great.
And then in my head, I'm like, okay, not conceited. All right. I'm gonna have to figure out how this humbleness works. humbleness, self-confidence balance is supposed to work, because I'm not sure.
That's great.
That's kind of where I stumble these days. I'm like, wait, like, when I was younger, I was conceited because I was a bitch and I didn't want people near. I wanted people to know their place. But also internally, then I didn't believe any of the stuff I said outwardly. and now I'm like, comparatively, like, traditionally, I am not as pretty as I was when I was younger. Like, I was thin and I was pretty. I was traditionally pretty. Yeah. And I was young, and I didn't believe any of the things I said. And now the things that I said then, I feel are accurate. And I'm like, why couldn't I have this confidence then? I don't have to tell people that I feel that way. Huh?
You would have abused it.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe a little.
Just a little.
Yeah. With age does come wisdom. But man, it's so frustrating that my body can't keep up with, like, where my mind's at now, because now I need that 20-year-old body.
Yeah, that's usually how it works, unfortunately.
Oh, today I took the bus into town and it was late and I had to hustle to get all the way over to Options for Bear's appointment. And I looked like I still kind of look a little tomato-ish. I definitely overexerted myself today.
Yeah.
And I am hoping that it doesn't affect my blood pressure, because my blood pressure has been getting a little out of control lately. Doctors are like, I'm like, yeah. Let's stop the medication that I take that actually does lower your blood pressure and see what happens. Because, like, if I'm taking 2 medications for my blood pressure and it's like going, maybe we can figure something else out.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Or, it could be the fucking stress of the fact that I'm overwhelmed.
Any of the above.
I'm mostly overwhelmed because, like, so much to do moving forward for the move. and I want to move yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I can't move until at least next March when Bear turns 18, but like, I just want to be out of this state so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely understand that.
I'm also ready to wake up and walk outside and just smell clean air and no neighbors.
Yeah, that no neighbors thing.
It's going to make my solitude little heart so happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I do definitely miss not being able to see or hear anybody else.
It'll be interesting for our mailman because I definitely intend to start checking the mail as the God created me, just because I can.
Yeah, it's your property.
I just know that our mailman is going to be like,
why?
because I can.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
And where we're going,
No.
it's not like we'll have very long per year when you can do that, so.
Well, I figured when it's winter time, I won't be as nature made me, but I'll have like 3 layers of pajamas, and then I'll put my Alf robe on. That sucker's so thick and plush and heavy. And then I'll go toddle my ass out to the snow in my snow boots to check the mail.
That works. Just don't freeze your bits off.
No, I intend to be warm, but I have been thinking about this because I've also been doing exposure therapy trying to like push my cold intolerance. And it's getting better. It's not great, but it's getting better. So we'll see. Like, I think that part of like my cold intolerance issues, I feel like it's going to change with my body chemistry changing once I have this hysterectomy.
Oh, probably.
Which I go in for the consultation to get my date set next month.
Very nice.
My surgery book. Yeah. So, after the hysterectomy, I think a lot's going to change, and I'm so excited. So excited. But I'm hoping the biggest change is that my cold intolerance takes a back seat because it's going to throw me into full ass menopause. So,
yeah.
I feel like the hot flashes will get a lot more intense.
I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, well, you know when the hot flashes hit me the most now? During cold intolerance moments.
Well, hey, at least there's that. Just get you all sorts out of whack.
It's weird because I'll be starting to shiver, like my body will be starting to shiver, but I don't feel cold. And then I start sweating. I'm like,
Yep.
Oh, that's why. I'm like, it said no, we'll pass on the cold, thanks.
No. Like, here, let me make you uncomfortable in the exact opposite way.
Or I slept on the couch last night because my grandbaby spent the night. And when she's here, I sleep out on the couch so she can have one couch and I have the other so I can keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
And apparently I had the night sweat so bad, which I didn't sleep covered up most of the night. I had the night sweat so bad that I like soaked the whole cushion that my upper body was on. I sit up and then I put my hand in and I'm about to yell at the dogs and I'm like, wait, that was me that was just there. I'm like, oh, yeah, damn it.
I almost wished it'd been the dogs.
Yeah, and then I threw on sweatpants to go out today because, like, the rain. I knew it was gonna be raining, so I get into town, and Medford, for the most part, didn't get a lot of rain.
Yeah.
It was sunny for like 20 minutes, long enough it was probably longer than that for us to get into the appointment. And then when we got out, we started walking back to the bus and started raining again. So my whole walk to the bus, rain. My whole walk back from the bus, rain. My short walk from the bus to options and back, sun. And I'm like, great, but I'm pretty sure the rain already washed off all the sunscreen.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Not that it matters because I look like a ripe ass tomato anyways. I did meet Bear's skateboard sponsor today, though. They opened their new shop, and I can't remember the name, or I'd tell people. I will get a card, and I'll tell people the name. But it's a cool little shop, tucked in just past 8th Street on Front. Tucked in that little, like, tourist parking area behind the Chamber of Commerce or whatever.
Yeah.
Right behind the parking lot. It's back there in the alley. But they were having a barbecue and grand opening and stuff today. So I stopped in on the way back to the bus and met Bear's sponsor. Bear got a new skateboard today. He's super stoked about that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, got my little workout. And then because I was wearing the sweatpants, I drenched when I got home on the inside of my clothes.
Yeah.
It's like, I need a shower.
Mm-hmm.
But then, because the kid was going to come home and everything, I was like, I'm going to shower tonight before I go to bed because I want to feel warm and cozy and crawl into bed and pass the hell out.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like to shower right before I go to bed. Like, everything relaxes and I'm like, cool. Now I don't have to lay there for 3 hours just trying to sleep.
I usually do, but I felt so icky. I wanted to get one when I got home, but then I was like, I'm on my period anyways. I'm waiting till bedtime. Do that.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit.
Yeah, thanks to menopause, it decided to come a whole 8 days late this month. I was just like, screw you too.
Thanks.
I just wish, like, with all the chaos, that I could get a little more time to focus on me. Like, I need an assistant.
Yeah.
I shared this reel on Facebook today that I was watching, and it was like that one friend you have that manages your whole life, and like the friend opens the door to the other friend outside, is on the phone with their doctor, like scheduling them a doctor's appointment while they're like handing them an energy drink and all these things. And I was like, I need two.
Yeah.
Right now. You can come and cook for me, because that's the thing I hate to do the most right now at the end of the day, is just cook for myself. Like, there's so many days I will not eat because I'm just like, it's not worth the energy or dirtying a dish just to cook for me.
I get that.
And then the next day I'm like blacking out and I'm like, oh, because I didn't fucking eat.
Yeah.
How many days you gonna repeat this, stupid?
Eventually I'll remember I probably need food.
I'm like, maybe I won't pass out before I eat this time.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I like bouncing off the carpet. I don't know. Luckily, I have not hit the ground anywhere but carpeted, but I fear for the day like I hit the concrete and wipe out my teeth. That's my fear.
Yeah.
That, above anything else, keeps me eating at least once every 3 or 4 days. Because I'm like, the grill, Heather. You've done so good. Most of the people in your generation don't have it anymore. Like, any of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you did so good, even while they purposely tried to destroy your teeth in jail. They managed to get a few, but not all of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna keep as many of these fuckers in my teeth in my head as I can. Sorry, just don't want to hit the concrete, but I just That's the thing that I see the most in my head every time I forget to eat when I'm laying down in bed at night is the concrete smashing the hell out of me.
Yeah. That's an understandable fear.
You know, it's not that I'm afraid, actually, of losing my teeth, because I think that it's no problem. I would look good in dentures just as much as my real teeth. It's the pain of having to have all of my teeth ripped out after having them smashed out, and then having to wear dentures for 3 months during misery so that they adjust appropriately to my mouth.
Yeah. That's not pleasant.
No, that's the fear. and it's, I would, like, most people are like, that's not a rational fear. Actually, I've watched it happen to many people in my family.
Yeah.
Also, I've watched James, that's had dentures for 20 years, get a new set, and he won't wear it because it hurts.
Yeah, I've seen that happen to several people.
And I'm like, but I will say that I have contemplated it at least a handful of times just because of my oral fixation.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, it would be convenient to just...
I love you.
Yeah. I have problems. I told you I'm healing, not healed. I'm definitely still mentally ill. Also, I said my therapist is leaving and I have BPD, so my attachment issues are pinging right now.
Yes.
Which makes weird shit come out of my face.
It's okay. I love you anyway.
So, what overwhelmness have you had? Because I just dumped out my whole last week.
Well, for me, mostly it's the new job. Like, I now work in the mental health field. And as much as it is a rewarding job and I am doing things and I'm helping people, which I love, it's also when you have to sit there and literally psychoanalyze people and chart people's behaviors and really look into stuff like that, it makes you analyze yourself a lot too. And frankly, I just don't want to right now. I got enough shit going on in my life without being like, that's a problem. Oh, look at that. You should go see a shrink again. Like, which I know, but I don't fucking have time for that right now either. Like, I sleep during the day now. I'm just like, this is wonderful. But it pays my bills.
There's that.
What I keep trying to remind myself.
I really need to get past this, like, paralysis stuff because we need some grants. We need to get some grants written and moving because we need some specific things like the LLC set up. Actually, we need two. But because we need a joint one that goes under this.
Yeah.
But then I need the one for my book stuff. But relevant. We really need money to not just for the move, but to start getting supplies and stuff that we need in advance. Start getting furniture that we're going to need in advance, even if we like run a storage unit and start putting the stuff that's going to go in there away from the houses. Just because honestly, I want to start getting things lined up because I also need to figure out what things you and I need to get freshened up on, what kind of things we're going to need. And like you were talking about the welding, but I don't know what's going on with that. I was thinking about that the other day because I had to get a soldering iron to fix my ring light, and I did.
Good.
It was not pretty, but I did it. And then when it was done, it works, but it no longer has a power button. So I accidentally fused the thing, so it's just always on when it's plugged in. So the power button turns it up and down in the like light volume, but it won't turn off. I'm like, fuck it.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I haven't touched a soldering iron in like 30 years, and that was the only thing that went wrong. I don't give a shit. That was awesome.
It works. That's what's important.
Hey, I figured it was trash, and now it's back to the same condition. Actually, it's a little better because now when I like kick it or whatever over, it doesn't shut off or anything. It just keeps working.
Well, hey, there's that.
Listen, I don't mean it in the racist sense, but I am redneck to my core, man. I am gonna figure some shit out and Jimmy rig it into next year.
Oh, whatever works.
I paid my money, and this new age piece of crap stuff that doesn't last a month, let alone a year, pisses me off. I need to get like 5 years or minimum out of something I spent money on, damn it.
Oh, yeah, there's that Gen X in you. You ain't never gonna get that shit back, honey. I'm so sorry.
That is why we are moving and homesteading, because yes, we are getting it back. It'll just be homemade.
But yes.
Although I keep getting on my son's behind lately because he's like, yeah, I can't wait to move. I can't wait to move. I can't wait to move. And I'm like, you know how much work it is where I'm trying to move to? Like, the level of work is like insane, and I can't get you to do dishes. I'm like, I need you to get that into perspective before you ask to move with me.
Yeah.
He didn't like that. But I really do need him to get it into perspective. Like, you're going to be asked to help at any number of things, up to and including dishes. So,
yeah.
And he's like, well, I love to do the hard work outside and all that stuff. Yeah, but if I can't get you to listen now, what makes you think I think you're going to listen in a situation that may be life or death?
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just like, yeah, consequences.
Yeah, if I can't trust you to do the little things, why would I even think to trust you to do the bigger things?
Yeah, and I get that he wants to work on a ranch, and that's great. You should go work on a ranch now and get the experience if you want to go. But you also have to come home and be able to do the dishes and vacuum the carpets and clean up after your dog if you want to be moving with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, he'll be an adult. Like, it's nobody's job to be doing shit for him.
And that's my point. Like, as a kid, you can get mad, but you still have to do the things. Like, as an adult, you tell me to fuck off, and I am left with a handful more than I ever expected. And when we're talking about homesteading, we can't afford to have somebody there that's supposed to be pulling X amount of weight because you and I will be counting on that.
Yeah.
And if he's not going to be doing that, then I don't want to count on it at all. I would rather look more into focusing on a grant that can get us extra money that allows for hiring a hand.
Yeah.
That can do the stuff that we can't, but like is a contractor, like somebody that's licensed and bonded that isn't going to fuck us over.
Yeah, exactly. Already knows what they're doing.
Yeah. So, like, there's a lot that's got to get done, and I'm overwhelmed. I also need to figure out what all I need to, like, refresh on, whatever, before. I'm probably going to want to take, like, a basic construction class, not at RCC because I owe them money for that. But, like, just a basic construction because a lot of the basics, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I don't remember, and I definitely don't want to be going into something blind, but I want to have something that lasts.
Yeah. And that's the smart thing to do.
I also been looking at a lot of property, and some of the best options we have are either right on the outskirts or inside reservation land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
How do you feel about that?
I would prefer not to be on res land, but it could be doable for the right place.
If not, then we may have to look at a different state.
Yeah. It's doable.
Huh?
It's doable. Mm-hmm.
My only concern is we're going to have to be really careful and make sure that it is fee-free land.
Yeah.
Because if it's not taxable and what it's called fee-free, so it's not actually tied to the reservation, even though it's on the reservation.
Yeah.
It's just a private property. You have to make sure it's that, because if it's anything else, apparently it's a nightmare, because with reservation land, there's a lot of land where they'll want to sell it, but it's like trust land that was trusted to this one person, and however many generations ago at them, and now there's like 50 heirs to this one property, and every one of them has to sign off for it to be sold, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
So doing the research, it was like, you need to make sure that like the title is titled free and clear, and it's a single deed. And I was like, okay, fuck.
Good.
There's a lot of shit to learn in Montana. It's not like here.
Not at all.
Even the BLM auctions aren't like here.
No.
And there, apparently, BLM auctions are few and far between, because why the fuck would they sell off their land?
Yeah. Exactly. They're way more protective of their land up there than we are down here.
Oh yeah. I found that out. It's like looking up the prices for land, and I was so appalled, and then I was like, why? Why? And they're like, because Montana values land, untouched land. They don't want nobody fucking with their land. So they make it extremely high. If it's already got some shit on it, take it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not... They're like, you already ruined it. Put something on it.
So, I don't know. That's been the chaos that it's been going on lately. And honestly, I've been so overwhelmed with missing last week, and then contemplating that we have to be on this weekly schedule with you being overwhelmed with work. I'm just like,
yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do moving forward. We might stay on the bi-weekly schedule if it gets too hectic, because I don't want to be like hating what I do, and I love what I do when we come here.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So, if you don't see us next week, we decided to just go bi-weekly. And if we're back next week, well, great. We do love you guys. We love being here. I know this one was more of like a catch-up bullshit sesh with you guys. Not really what I would call a life update. Just join us in the chaos, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it's been overwhelming, but we're still headed in the right direction, even if it feels like we're stuck in the mud at the moment. And I hope that if you are feeling this way too, you know you're not alone. And those of you that heard me talk about the solitude, if you're not hiding from the world and you enjoy company when you enjoy it, but most of the time you just enjoy your own company, that's not self-isolating. That's enjoying solitude. And it is healthy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Enjoy it. Enjoy people when you're around them, but enjoy the peace when you're by yourself. Don't feel pressured to surround yourself with people just because that's what people think it should be.
Definitely agree.
And as always, rage responsibly.
Bye.
Also available on Spotify. We said what we said, and we're just getting started. Thanks for listening. Now go rage responsibly. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.